Welcome back to Stevenson Field here in Providence. The Brown Bears, the Princeton Tigers, alongside Mike Mancuso. I'm Mike Rubin. Good to have you with us. And let's take a look at our starting lineups. Mike, take away the Tigers. Our starting lineups brought to you by Academy Bus. At Academy Bus, we know the way.
For the Princeton Tigers, it'll be Alexander Bruno, Liz Cutting, Mary Kate Savilli, Madeline Rodriguez, Erin Slifer, Carolyn Frank, Liz Banentine, Anna Doherty, Blake Dietrich, Aaron McMahon, Olivia Homp, Kelly Ragg, and Colleen Smith. They all play for head coach Chris Saylor, now in her 28th season at the helm of the Tigers.
And for the Bears, as we mentioned, getting the start and goal, the junior out of Poway, California, Kelly Roddy. Playing in front of her on the attack, Janie Guion, Bree Hudgens, as well as, I'm going to assume Lauren Toy will be the third attacker. It may be Danielle Mastro, but we'll take a look at that. In the midfield, Carrie Ann Hunt, along with the aforementioned Toy and Grace Healy. Defensively, Marissa Dale, Erin Roos, and Rochelle Walsh, along with Alyssa DeBona. Played the defensive midfield position, swapped out a little bit the first weekend we were here. The Bears will wear the home whites, brown numerals, red trim. Princeton in the road black tops, orange kilts with orange numerals and white trim. And of note, Mike, I think it's worth saying there are a couple Bears unavailable. Bears without Abby Bunting, who was injured the first weekend of the season. And, you could sometimes wonder what that does to a team. She had 36 goals a year ago and was certainly going to be counted on as a junior coming back for this team. But, one person's unfortunate injury can be another's opportunity, and I think that's what some of the other Bears may have to do by committee.
Well, it's not may have to do. That's what they're going to have to do if they're going to want to have some success, and especially here this afternoon against the Tigers, come into this one ranked 16th in one poll, 19th in the other. And yes, they're 1-2, but they have played some pretty tough competition. Princeton so far falling at number 6 Loyola 15-10. They defeated Rutgers 11-4, and then last weekend fell to Georgetown, who was ranked 14th, 17-16 in overtime.
Contact off the draw against Princeton, and it will be Brown ball to start the matchup. The Bears will attack right to left. Healy comes near side for Guion, steps up the near side, and the Bears go on the attack, again attacking toward goal to our left. Colleen Smith watching Guion, who tracks back toward X. Those of you watching at home, we play mostly the red lines. The white restraining line does come into play as well. We'll watch DeBona on the near side of the box, and back to Guion, who's going to attack out of the corner. A little bit of a different look than we saw the last time we saw the Bears. So rolling out a different-looking attack as Healy comes off the near edge. Had Hudgens now works to the top of the 12, comes back to Hudgens. She gets a step on the defender, works in front, fires it up and over the top of the iron.
Nice little move there by Hudgens to get around her defender and able to get that shot off. Unfortunately, just a little bit too high, but able to back it up was Guion behind the cage.
About a minute gone here at Stevenson. Guion on the near side again, watched by Smith. Had a cutter in Mastro and elected to not dish. Outside DeBona, and now far side for Lauren Toy. Toy gets a step on her defender. That was Madeline Rodriguez, and will now work it back behind the goal. From X is Guion. Has Hudgens on the near side with Healy as Hudgens now works toward the men's crease. Bears playing a patient game, and I can't say I blame them, and they'll work off the near side edge for Healy, who stepped in front of Liz Banentine, gets a step to the near side, works in front toward the edge of the near side of the 8, and will back it back out. Good defense there by the Tigers. 2 minutes gone and a scoreless first. Guion working off, now comes near side for Hunt, back outside the 12. She'll turn, tries to get around her defender, gets around Slifer, drops in front, shot and scored! The Bears will take a 1-0 lead. Good move by Hunt, feeds Mastro. She goes to the upper 90, and the Bears have taken a 1-0 lead.
Great ball movement there, a little slip inside, and I think it was Guion, Mike, who actually had the finishing touches on that one.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, good call.
Yeah, so it comes in just 2:07 into the first half, and that's what the Bears are going to have to do. They're going to have to be methodical with their possessions. They're going to want to limit Princeton to as few possessions as possible in this one. Most importantly, the Bears got to convert when they are in the attacking third, and that was a great-looking setup that time as Guion kind of camping out on the side of the crease that time, was able to roll in close, little fake, and dropped it over the shoulder of Caroline Frank.
And here comes another draw. Looks like Hudgens in position to control it. And the Bears will go back on the attack. Hudgens hot-footing upfield, gets around one defender, turns in front, and will now slow things off for Guillaume on the near side. Bears, the last time out here at Stevenson against Sacred Heart, at one point controlled 14 draws in a row and 16 of 18 before, I would say, cooling off. They actually took their first unit off in that game. Almost thrown away by Toy. Guillaume behind the goal. Mastro works on the crease roll, now backs off as picked up by Bannatyne, and now back out for Toy. She works one-on-one on Anna Doherty, tries to get a step, works in front, forces the pass back out, and we're going to get a foul, and it's going to be a free position coming for the Bears.
Yeah, it's going to be a couple, they're going to either put it right on the corner of the 8th or maybe a couple feet off the corner. And it's going to be a free position opportunity for Toy. She's 2 of 2 on the season. See if she can convert this one to give the Bears a 2-goal lead.
Skips the shot, but it's saved by Frank, and she'll trot back behind the goal, and Princeton will attempt to clear.
Yeah, it just didn't seem to get a lot behind that shot, Mike. Seemed to almost telegraph it to that lower portion of the net as well. Easy save for Frank.
Liz Cutting, the senior from Towson, Maryland, with the ball for Princeton, will be forced all the way back to Kelly Ragg, and Ragg off to the far side. Around Hudgens comes Bannatyne, gets across the restraining line, and Princeton on the attack for the first time today.
It looks like Ruse has drawn the assignment of Erin McMunn, the reigning Ivy Attacker of the Year. She's got the ball now with the white headband. It's going to be a tough assignment for Ruse.
She's watched off to the far side. Again, the Bears have graduated their probably top shutdown defender in Sydney Jacobs from a year ago. Ball working in front, the shot wide of Roddy. Seemed like the defender did a nice job of altering the shot. I think it was Molly Lane defending there for the Bears. And the ball will be looped out to Alexandra Bruno. Bruno working in, takes a step, gets to the left, fires a shot, and scores! Roddy looked left, the shot went right, and Alexandra Bruno has tied the game at 1. 4:09 into the first.
Yeah, for Bruno, that's going to be her 7th goal of the season. Comes at 4:09 of the first half, and I think Roddy even got a piece of that, but simply couldn't stop it from getting inside that near post. Princeton tying things up on an Alexandra Bruno goal.
Princeton attack has been pretty symmetrical. 19 first half goals, 18 second half goals, and
averaging 12.3 per game.
I guess you'd say a shootout in Washington against Georgetown.
17-16 in double overtime.
That's a lot of goals.
It's a long game.
Well, we have seen, as Healy controls the draw, we have seen, to be honest, we've been very fortunate to get running time in the first 2 games. In fact, we had running time in the first half of the Sacred Heart game. As I don't think we're going to see that today.
I'm guessing we're not going to have that today.
Now, Rochelle Walsh for Healy. And over for Mastro.
Again, here where the Bears are going to have to be methodical and be careful with the ball.
Mastro,
no silly turnovers.
Mastro tried to deke in front. A good job by Rodriguez to close down what could have been a path toward the goal. Looked like that could have been a foul there, not called, on Anya Gersop, the sophomore. Did a good job of shielding off. I want to say that was Walsh again. Here's Toy working in front, and it'll be another foul drawn by Toy at another Brown free position. Toy stymied on her last one from a very similar spot, so we'll see if she adjusts here.
Yeah, the exact same spot this time, right off the corner.
This time skips it through the wickets, and it's 2-1.
Toy able to convert goal number 9, now tied for the team lead in goals with Bree Hudgens. That one coming at 4:58. So just 50 seconds after the Princeton goal, Toy responds with the Bears' 2nd goal of the afternoon, puts them up 2-1 here with plenty of time left in the first half.
Well, and just a clarification, I know some folks out there were wondering the last game, they don't do the random stick check anymore. After a goal is scored, the player is not allowed to touch her stick until the official has inspected it and allowed the coach the opportunity to challenge the stick. Each coach is allowed 3 challenges per game. The referee can always
it's
overrule a
still
goal.
just such a baffling rule.
Oh, I know. Especially
they
since they check all the sticks
them all
before the
before.
game. Yeah, I don't know. Who am
I guess
I
they
to-
want to avoid any shenanigans in game if they're messing with the cross of those sticks. We'll see if the Bears can win a fourth straight draw, and they will. Toy comes up with it, gets hammered by a pair of Tigers.
Yeah, they'll call the block.
Easy call that time.
Yeah, pretty easy. You saw Toy's head snap back, to be honest. And the ball will be pushed upfield. Here's Guion. Tries to work off the near side. Nice defensive play by Rodriguez. The Bears leading 2-1 and have been expert in the circle. Each time there's been a draw, the Bears have controlled. In fact, only a save on a free position has kept this a 2-1 game at that. Inside position, Healy almost lost the ball. Did a good job of taking it out of pressure. And now Mastro off the far side corner, works in around Rodriguez, tried to get a step, is pushed off, little slide step, gets back in front, shot and score! Terrific work by Danielle Mastro, and the Bears attack continues to fire. It's 3-1.
That was like a knuckleball that time. Didn't have a lot of pace, but somehow fooled the netminder, Caroline Frank. Mastro picks up her 7th of the season at 5:49 of the first half. And the Bears offense looking pretty sharp here early on, and they're doing an excellent job taking care of the ball. Solid passes, no silly errors thus far. We'll see if they can keep it up, but most importantly, the story for the game has got to be on the draws.
Lauren Toy checks out, and the Bears will attempt to control yet another draw here. Healy, who was, again, outstanding 2 weekends ago, and
Well, came into this one already having won 14 draws in the first 3 games.
that one's up in the air, ball on the ground. Who wants it? It spins up, loose, and it's going to be a foul called against the Bears. It was finally picked up by Gertzoff of the Tigers. And Princeton will attempt to work here left to right. The problem is Alexandra Bruno is all alone. She'll work one-on-one, has only Roddy to beat, shot and scored! And that's one of those crazy situations when everybody has to freeze, Mike. There is nothing that Kelly Roddy could do there.
No, I mean, she needed Bruno to make a mistake there, and Bruno not taking any chances and easy burying it in the back of the net, and able to answer for the Tigers. That one coming at 6:13. And so far, we've had a little bit of a barn burner, not even 7 full minutes in. And we've already seen 5 goals. Bruno picks up goal number 8 of the season, her 2nd of the game on the breakaway. No one within 10 yards of her when she received that pass, and simply had to take it right in at Roddy. And again, Roddy with no chance whatsoever.
First draw of the day controlled by the Tigers. It yields an instant goal. This one comes off for Hudgens, who works out of traffic, quickly comes near side for Rochelle Walsh, who picks up the ball and will work right to left. Gets around a couple of Tigers. Princeton has pretty good team speed, Mike. Walsh almost forced out of bounds. She was forced out of bounds, so it'll be remain Brown possession.
I think they're
here.
counting players, Mike. I think Princeton might have been offsides for a second. That's, I think, what the referee was counting.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, they're 12. They're good.
Well, I think that's what the official.
Did they just send somebody off?
Oh, no, I don't know if someone came back after they blew the whistle.
Yeah, it's a
That 22, because
was a
the way that they
little
were
sneaky.
trailing Walsh there on that near sideline.
Might have gotten away with it.
Oh, well, they stopped play.
And the Bears do retain possession, and Walsh will
It's
work.
convenient that the play was right on the line.
Yeah, very convenient.
Either way, it'll still be possession for the Bears as they try to extend what's currently a 1-goal lead.
And a nice takeaway by the Tigers. It was a clean strip by Princeton's Liz Cutting to cause the turnover. It's a good defensive play, more than it was a mistake by Mastro. But a little bit of both will yield a turnover in Princeton, an attempt to clear. They work left to right. Nice play by Hunt to close it off, and the Bears take it back. Failed clear, and call the foul on Princeton there.
Yep.
Mastro was charging up that near side. The Princeton folk thought it should have been offensive.
Yeah, Ben and Tyne, their second-team All-Ivy performer, just kind of almost setting up like a block in basketball as Mastro tried to weave around her.
Here's Hudgens working near side, turns, lost her edge, and is able to threw it away looking for Guion.
Trying to do a little bit too much that time after falling down. She slipped right at the top of the 8 and tried to make that pass to Guion, who was camped out right on the end line, but just kind of sailed it over her head. We'll see if Princeton can clear this time. Already one failed clear on the afternoon.
Hudgens scored her 100th career goal back in that season opening weekend and has an outside chance, depending on what kind of output she has this year, catching Susanna Bailey for the all-time goal-scoring lead.
Some rarefied air there, Mike.
Oh, I'll tell you. She was a special player, was Suzanne Bailey. She was a member of the last team that beat Princeton back in 91. In a long time as the play for Gersov. Gersov forced back, finds Erica Grabby, loose in front. There's a flag up and a shooting space violation on the Bears. We're going to see a free position here for the Tigers. With an attempt to tie. Has it been tied since 0-0? It's 3-2. This will come off about 2 o'clock of the 8. As Cutting will take this free position for check that. It's shot and scored. It was Savilli, the senior out of Greenlawn, New York, a 6, not a 5. And Princeton has tied it up. And I think the only concern I have, Mike, is, I understand 8.5 minutes in, Roddy, who has been sound as can be, yet to make a save here today. Unfortunately, pretty high percentage shots the Bears are yielding.
Yeah, I mean, a free position one there. The breakaway by Bruno. The first one was in close, too. I mean, she would have had to come up with a spectacular save to keep any one of those 3 bids out of the net. It'd be more concerning if she was giving up soft goals, but I'd have to say that the 3 that have been scored so far have all been pretty solid.
So Princeton,
for the Tigers.
Princeton's answered. It was 3-1, and we're all tied up. And again, but 8.5 minutes into the first half.
Another win for the Bears, though, on the draw. Healy able to scoop it up, gets hacked, and the Bears will maintain possession.
They call the foul on Erin Slifer out of Mount Airy, Maryland. And Healy will reset. Has Hudgens to her right. Tough pass, but it bounces to the cross of Hudgens. She works upfield, turns, dodges, works in front, fires it up and over the top.
Nice looking spin move again by Hudgens, showing why she's first team all Ivy. Looking for her first goal of the game, though, so far.
Mastro, Hunt will work right to left, push back, and will kind of turn back to her left after skipping to the right. Now finds Walsh with Healy, Toy, Guion, Mastro, and Hudgens, the rest of this Brown attacking unit. Entering the 10th minute of the match, 3-3, our score. Shot and scored! A great look in front.
Walsh
will finish.
Michelle Walsh that time, a little bit of a one-timer, picks up her 3rd of the season. The time of the goal, 9:31 of the first half, and the Bears take the lead right back. Efficiency on offense, the key for the Bears so far, as well as their outstanding play on the draw controls. And it's all added up to a 4-3 lead here as we're about 9.5 minutes into the first half.
And we'll use this opportunity to tell you that Brown Lacrosse is brought to you by Avis. At Avis, it's fans first and sponsors second. Mike, we look at the attacking unit of the Brown Bears thus far, and I think one of the things that is one of the elements that I think is fairly crucial is how many players are touching the ball.
Right, and they're doing a good job moving the ball around, finding the open person, and taking the space when they have it. And they've been able to, work these little spin moves and moves inside the 8 to get shooting opportunities. They were able to draw a couple of free positions as well earlier.
Another foul off the draw, and the Princeton Tigers will be in a good spot for a potential 2-on-1. It's defended well by the Bears. Shot in front and scored! A good look up top by Savilli as she goes up over the right shoulder of Kelly Roddy and ties the game quickly at 4.
Yeah, 9:50 the time of the goal. Number 2 on the day for Savilli, number 4 on the season. It was a nice job by Megan O'Brien kind of splitting the defense, or splitting the difference there as a lone defender defending a 2-on-1. And that's one where maybe you'd like to see Roddy kind of step up and make a big save. But beat again, gives up the 4th of the day for her. We're all knotted up 4-piece.
Starting to feel like one of those old street hockey games where You're waiting for the sun to go out, and whoever gets the ball last is going to...
Certainly shaping up that way so far, but hard to believe there's still 50 minutes plus remaining in this game. 8 goals already, and we haven't even played 10 full.
At this rate, we will see 48 goals here today. just saying. Princeton controls the draw, looking for their first lead of the game. Ball dish left. Bruno in front, scored! And you're seeing why Princeton has one of their top attacks in the nation as well, as they attack left to right, take their first lead of the game, 5-4. Mike, it took just about 10 seconds.
Yeah, it took literally 10 seconds as exactly 10 minutes in. Bruno already with a hat trick, goal number 9 on the season. And as you mentioned earlier, Roddy yet to make a save. She's going to have to step up, Mike, if the Bears are going to want to hang around in this one. Quick strike offense out of the Tigers, 2 goals in 10 seconds.
Mike,
able to take their first lead of the day at 5-4.
High risk, high reward on the draw. The Bears crash the circle. They're trying to get that ball. If they don't, they are really counting on their defense or goaltender.
Yeah, it certainly puts them in a precarious situation when they don't win that draw. And we've seen it now, the 3 times that Princeton has won it, they've converted it into 3 goals.
Ball up, ball down, ball on the ground. Hudgens hit the deck. No foul called. And Princeton controls another draw. Here comes Ann Mankey for the Tigers. Or is that Anna Doherty?
Doherty.
Doherty, the 18.
These numbers not the easiest to read.
No. Here's Slifer. Tries to work in. Ball freed up. Nice play by the Bears. And right to left again. This time it was Toy defending. Oh, you know what? That's got to be a card. That has got to be a card. Yeah, the Bears will go man up here, Mike, on the cross check there on Erin Slifer.
Yeah, you just got to hope that Toy's okay. I know she bounced up relatively quickly, but that was a heck of a shot put on her by Erin Slifer, the junior.
Coach Saylor giving her the, you got to be smarter than that talk.
So again, it's a 2-minute penalty.
Yep. A man-up situation for the Brown Bears, who have scored on the season. A couple of man-up goals, I thought. They're still struggling to get out of their own end. And it comes to the near side for Molly Lane. She'll switch it off far side. Bears put it on the ground. Picked up on the far wing by Marissa Dale. Dale trying to bulldoze her way in and is able to draw the foul.
Yeah, I think getting a piece of her that time was Savilli.
Pushes it ahead for Grace Healy. 18:45 left here. Bears trailing for the first time today.
And for the first time today, the Bears looking a little sloppy with the ball here.
I was just saying the same thing.
Yeah, it's a little strange. You go man up and you have the advantage, and all of a sudden you get a little sloppy. So the Bears got to kind of reel things back, but already a minute gone in the penalty to Slifer.
Toy, Kim, and now Toy from Kim. Looks to her right. That's Walsh. Now Mastro working off the corner. Guion at X has Hudgens near side. Gives her the ball. Hudgens working in. Centering pass. Came for Walsh and bounces out to the far side. It's picked up off the ground by Toy. And now again for Kim and Walsh. Walsh looks left. Has Healy. As we're down to 30 seconds left on the foul. The card to Slifer.
Princeton really collapsing almost all their defenders inside the 8 there.
Good look for Mastro, a little dodge. Now loses the ball as it was picked up on the double. Toy in front. Good look. Guion score! Terrific look and a one-time catch and shoot. And the Bears have evened it up at 5 with a man-up goal.
Nice strike by Guion. Mike had her back to the goal at first. A little turnaround, able to drop it past Frank to tie things up at 5. Goal number 5 of the year for Guion, her second of the day. Game-tying goal comes at 12:16 of the first half as the shootout continues here at Stevenson Field.
We're tied at 5, 17:44 to play first half, and one thing we neglected to mention, what a picture-perfect day we have here in Providence.
It's easily the nicest day we've had in a month, 2 months.
Well, 2 weeks ago we called the Iona game. It was similar conditions, but, it's 50 degrees and we're out here at in March. I mean, sometimes we're hopeful to get this in
considering
April.
2 days ago it was 7 degrees in the morning.
Quick strike, Hudgens for Mastro. Mastro in front, the shot, the score! The draw control. Healy, Hudgens to Mastro, and it's 6-5 Brown.
Brilliant quick strike goal by the Bears that time. Mastro keeping it. Had Guion to her left, and that kind of put the goaltender in a precarious situation. Couldn't really overcommit either way. Mastro buries it. Second of the day for her, 8th of the season. Comes at 12:24. So Princeton with 2 goals in 10 seconds. The Bears with 2 goals in 8 seconds. As again, offense is on fire here. We're not even midway through the first half.
We've seen 11 goals in 12 and a half minutes time.
I think combined the goalies have 1 save. One on the free position by Frank. So tells you what kind of day the offenses are having out here. These attack units as the Bears, again, Healy. Great job on the draw. The Bears go to work again on the offensive end.
Yeah, Walsh on the wing, hotfoots up the left side, and gets it to Mastro behind the goal. She rolls the crease, almost stepped in, and will play it off on the far side. Toy, and now Hudgens. With Kim, DeBona, Healy, Mastro, and Guion. Hudgens to score! Bree Hudgens makes it 7-5.
No help defense that time out of the Tigers as Hudgens beat her defender. There was no one in her way between her and the goal, and she does what she does best, and that's score goals. Number 10 on the season for Bree Hudgens.
Princeton wants timeout. We're going to take 1-2. Fireworks on attack. 13 minutes in, Brown leads 7-5. We're back after this.
Association. No matter when you graduated, the Brown Alumni Association is your lifelong connection to Brown, and their programs keep you connected to Brown. Programs like faculty lectures and other events sponsored by your local Brown Club or BrewNet, Brown's online alumni career networking community. To find out more, just visit Brown's website and click on the keyword alumni. The Brown Alumni Association is your lifelong connection to Brown and proud supporters of Brown University Athletics.
The Providence Biltmore has 294 guest rooms, all with cityscape views and king-size beds. Guests will enjoy our full-service spa, McCormick & Schmick's seafood and steaks, Starbucks, a fitness center, valet parking, and free Wi-Fi. Downtown location steps away from shopping, dining, and the convention center. Plan an event in the rooftop grand ballroom with panoramic views of the city or on our terrace. Both perfect for weddings, meetings, and special events with world-class food and beverage service and gracious hospitality.
And welcome back, folks. Good to be with you here at Stevenson Field, where our score is Brown 7 and Princeton 5, women's lacrosse here in Providence. Alongside Mike Mancuso, I'm Mike Rubin. And you know, Mike, I think one of the key words for this game, and I think we'll see it rear its head in one way or the other on both sides, is going to be poise. The Bears have been really on the outside looking in of the Ivy League picture for years, and you have to wonder if this is going to be the type of day where the Bears maintain their poise for 60 minutes, find a way to earn a victory as opposed to the opposite. And Princeton is used to being in the position where they've got the bullseye on their back. They are used to being the hunted. They're not used to being down. So how this evolves, I think, over the next 17 minutes, I think in this first half could tell us a lot.
Well, I think it certainly helped also that last week the Bears started their Ivy League season already. You know, they got that first Ivy League win under their belts last week and taking down Columbia, where Princeton just starting their Ivy season, and sometimes maybe a little bit extra pressure on the Tigers, knowing that there's really no room for error. And you've got other teams lurking in the league like Penn that certainly will make things difficult to take an Ivy crown. So this would be a huge step forward for the Bears. Of course, plenty of time left in this one, but certainly loving what I'm seeing out of this Brown squad so far today.
Bears finishing above 500 last season for the first time since the late 90s, and again, trying to take that next step. It's been a step that has eluded this program, and there's a long way to go here today.
Well, you mentioned that last year. Yes, they were 9-6, but 5 of those 6 losses came in league play, and that's where they really need to turn the corner, Mike, if they want to kind of get into that upper echelon.
Ball turned far side. Dale, a good job defending, and it's pushed back out by the Tigers to Bruno, who has 3 so far in this one. She's forced back. Here comes Roos on the double. Gets the ball on the ground. It's picked up, however, quickly by Sarah Lloyd. Lloyd forced out by Roos. Gets us around the defender. DeBona and Roos passes Bruno. Back in front, shot, and the save by Roddy. Second shot scored. Roddy came up with the initial save, but it came right back to Sarah Lloyd. And the senior for Princeton makes it 7-6.
Yeah, tough break for the Bears that time. They finally get the save from Roddy, but the putback in by Lloyd makes it a one-goal game again. 13:58 the time of that goal here in the first half. And, you know, it was really the initial move by Lloyd to elude two defenders, as getting caught was DeBona on the outside of that double team, and that allowed Lloyd to get the inside track, and she was able to beat Roots as well. Had two Bears out of position, and that's basically what led to that goal.
80% of the time Princeton puts the ball on goal, it goes in.
Not a bad percentage.
No, it's pretty good. Ball up, brawl down, controlled on the draw by Grace Healy, who lost it temporarily. Hunt in traffic had it chopped out. Thought we might have seen a foul, but Princeton turns it over. It's picked up in traffic by Marissa Dale. She'll turn back, and it's played Walsh for Roddy. She'll switch fields off to the far side and threw it away. Oh, an unforced error. I think DeBona, Mike, was starting to move upfield before she had caught the ball.
Either way, you got to just, you know, eliminate those type of errors. I mean, the margin in these games for any kind of error is so slim. You can't give the Tigers any extra chances, and that's certainly one that could come back to bite the Bears here on this possession.
We tick down to about 15 minutes to play here. First half, 7-6. Brown on top. Ball played out for Lloyd, and Lloyd had somebody to her right. Tried the entry pass, and now will back it out. Had Bruno to her left. Drops it to the corner. The Tigers to work from Olivia Hump. She works around the crease, tracked by Roos. Almost lost the ball. They're going to get a foul on Roos, and a free position coming from a tough angle.
Right on the corner.
Yeah, corner of the 8. They'll put Roos behind, and Bears have it pretty well covered based on the defenders. We'll see what Hump decides to do here. She'll walk in and will instead loop it back out to Bruno. Again, Bruno, 3 of Princeton's first 6 here through the first 15 minutes. Just past the midpoint of half number 1. Lloyd, who scored the last one for the Tigers, back outside. Good work there. Interior defense against Grabby. And the ball pushed by Gershoff. Behind the goal it comes. Tigers calling out signals. Here's Bruno, picked up by Hunt. Turns, loops it in traffic, taking a shot. It's saved by Kelly Roddy.
Yeah, that time it was Gershoff trying to little left-hander past Roddy, but Roddy held her space there on the near post, made the save, and was able to corral the rebound as well. See if the Bears can complete the clear. That looked like it could have been a foul.
Yeah, Hunt
cutting
passed it for DeBona, and it was, I think, cutting, right?
Cutting, yeah, came right over and gave her a pretty good shot, but the Bears able to maintain possession and complete the clear now as they work it across the restraining line.
Roos for Kim inside. Mastro shot it wide, backed up by the Bears.
Oh, she's going to wish she had that one back, Mike. She was in great position that time, had enough space to get the shot off as well, but just put it wide of the cage.
Princeton bench trying to lobby for a substitution infraction by the Bears. Hudgens working in front, has some space, and is clobbered. No foul.
2 Tigers got a piece of Hudgens. And usually if you're first team All-Ivy, you get those kind of calls. Not to say that it was a questionable call. I mean, that should have been called. A lot of contact.
No comment. There was an awful lot of contact they let go there, and, you know, far be it from us to be experts on the rules here, but that's one we're pretty sure about. Here come the Tigers in transition. Bruno down low, shot, and scored. Check that. I can't even pick out that number, Mike. Is that?
Isn't she supposed to drop her stick, though?
She's holding it up. Same.
20, maybe?
Yeah.
McMunn. Oh, there's McMunn.
Yeah.
Okay, so there. The attacker of the year finally gets on the board for the Tigers. A tying goal, her 6th of the year.
We're tied at 7.
Yeah, it comes at 17:02.
Bears, that's kind of a -2 there, Mike. They had Mastro free in front, shot it wide. It turned into a turnover, if you will, on the missed call. Back the other way came Princeton with the fast break strike. But we're tied at 7. Ball come back to center circle. where Healy awaits.
Now we start talking about key draws, Mike, and this one a key one for the Bears. I know it's still early on in the game, but the Bears need to stop this Princeton momentum. They've netted the last 2 goals after the Bears struck for 3 in about a 30-second span.
Comes off the edge. It's won by McMunn, and she'll trot off the far side, watched by Hudgens, and she'll pass it all the way back for Civilian. Here come the Tigers. That's cutting, comes near side, centering pass, in front comes Grabby, takes a shot, and Princeton has taken the lead 8-7, 4th lead change in the first 17 and a half minutes.
Just the 2nd goal of the season for Grabby. Comes at 17-22.
And I think Keely McDonald wants timeout. Yep, she'll get it. Timeout Brown with 12:38 left first half. Will take one too. Still a lot of fireworks as the offenses are on fire here at Stevenson. We're back after this. And welcome back to Stevenson Field here in Providence. Our score, 8-7, favoring the Princeton Tigers. Alongside Mike Mancuso, I'm Mike Rubin. Good to have you with us on a picture-perfect day here in southern New England. And the Bears trying to stop the bleeding. They've had a couple of runs allowed here against the Tigers, who've scored the last 3 in pretty short time, Mike.
Well, the Tigers have had the last 2. Oh, no, they did have the last 3
in a row,
right.
7-5,
right.
yeah. Gone, like I said, 4 different lead changes so far in this one. And on both sides, Mike, it's you win this game, and if you're Brown and you win this game, you're in the conversation. You don't win this game, and it becomes you're still in search of that win to kind of get you over the proverbial hump. As the ball is bounced off the near side, the Tigers get to work, and coming off the corner, that's Hump. Works behind the goal. A little overlap. Had Bruno, and now goes up all the way for Slifer. She works one-on-one on Toy. Drops it back down low. Shot saved by Roddy.
It's a huge save there by Roddy, Mike, on McMunn, one of the most dangerous snipers in the league. McMunn only about 3 feet out there and tried to go high. Roddy read it or anticipated well, was able to come up with a save.
And here come the Bears completing the clear and getting to work on the attack. With the ball, that's Kim and now Hunt. But 11 and a half to play here in half number 1. 8-7 Princeton. Hunt, Walsh, Kim, Mastro, Healy, Hudgens, and Guion. Healy for Mastro, a point-blank shot misread earlier that led to Princeton at the time their 6th goal. Of course, there was also the non-call on Hudgens in that same sequence. She was chopped down by a couple of Tigers. Healy looking in front and plays it back to Walsh. Walsh will come to the near side edge for Guion, who works in on Slifer. Little spin, and now we'll back it back out. Heady play for Walsh, and now Hunt again for the Bears off to the right. She works one-on-one, trying to get around Colleen Smith. Little drop in front for Mastro, couldn't turn and shoot, gets it back to Hunt, off the pipe! It comes bouncing out to Hudgens.
Oh, it's set up well that time by the Bears, but drawing the iron that time as it ricocheted out in favor of the Tigers. The Bears able to track it down.
Mastro coming off the edge against Blake Dietrich, and now we'll play it back out for Healy as we tick down to about 10 minutes left here in half number 1. Healy trying to turn on Bannentine. Now we'll cut back toward the left. Bounces a pass. Well read there by Guion, who played it off the hop. 10 minutes left. She works against Slifer and will now hold back. Runs to her left. Along the end line, finds Mastro. Crease rolls left side. Forced back against Anna Doherty and gets the pass to Carrie-Ann Hunt. There's going with a little bit more of a patient approach here. This resembles, to be honest, the first possession of the game. Bears hitting iron on the shot by Hunt. Mastro had the cutter in Hudgens and now feeds it off. Hunt working in against Smith. Turns back. Will again try and get a step on Smith, who's got that right leg.
And Mike Princeton doing an excellent job just cutting off all possible shooting lanes on this possession.
Guion working in. Cypher a good job holding her off. You don't see any passing angles. The Bears overload the right side, and now Walsh feeds Healy. Trying to play perhaps who makes the first mistake over this last 2.5-minute possession that has yielded just a single Brown shot. Healy, and now from the corner, Kim feeds it off for Guion, and the Bears coaching staff calling for a new look, and it's turned over. And
no, it was a hit to the back that time.
There it is, okay.
Caused that as Hudgens took a shot that time from
Ragg.
Kelly Ragg.
Hudgens between the 12 and the 8. She runs in, little spin move, lost the ball.
Lost it on the fake that time.
Tigers will attempt to clear, and they turn it bouncing back. It comes to Hudgens, who's chopped down again.
Yeah,
this time
that's
they get the
got to
call.
be a card. I mean,
Now, Hudgens is getting a little tired of it, and I
yeah,
don't blame her.
she's been getting just crushed all night, or all afternoon here, and yes, she'll get the call, but you would think that should be another man-up
and it's
situation
the
for the
second time
Bears.
Slifer. If she gets carded a second time, that's a problem for Princeton. Hunt working in at the 8 and will now back off far side. So we're inside 8 to play. 8-7 Tigers scored the last 3. As this one takes a slightly more pedestrian pace than the first 10 minutes, which were
Well, the pace by both offenses in the first 15 minutes of the game was,
cardiac.
I think, a bit of an anomaly for what we usually see, especially in Ivy games.
We're on a pace to see 40-plus goals. Hunt backs off, has Mastro to her right. She's being watched by Doherty. And now Healy, left side Walsh. Plays Guion. And the Bears calling signals from the bench. Guion had a couple of defenders on her. Oh, almost threw it away. Kim went high for it. And now back out to Grace Healy. Healy finds Mastro. Mastro a step of the defender. Bounces a shot. Saved. Hudgens on the rebound. And it bounces, unfortunately, all the way to Caroline Frank, who came up with her second save of the first half.
So 2 big defensive stands by the Tigers. They turned it over last time on their clear attempt. We'll see if they can complete it this time. Under 7 minutes to play first half.
Bannatyne almost threw it away. A nice play there by Savilli to go high and come down with the ball. She'll feed it over for Ragg as the Tigers get to work on the attack, trying to extend an 8-7 lead. Tigers led this one. They got as many as 2 at one point. Hump turns it in front and scored! Good look for Anna Gersoff. And the Tigers strike hard, strike fast. It's 9-7.
Gersoff able to put it in. That one coming at 23-38. So the first half, and for Gersoff, it's goal number 5 on the season.
4 straight for Princeton. Bears trying to find a way to stop the bleeding. And really need the next one, Mike. Otherwise, this one could start to get away from
The Bears have had some chances, Mike. They had 2 long extended possessions. One ended up hitting the post. The other one, kick save made by Frank. But in both instances, the Tigers' defense coming up big. Another key situation here on the draw for Healy and the Bears. Bears got to be especially careful if they crash the circle again. Don't want to give up another fast break goal.
Well, we'll see. A lot of pressure on Healy with this particular draw here, Mike. 6:22 left here in the first half. It bounces to Hudgens off the edge. She'll turn back to the wing for Walsh. Walsh upfield. We've seen this before. Spins through 2 defenders, almost into a third, and lost it. And they're going to get a foul on Walsh. And that's ticky-tack, Mike, based on what we've seen them let go from Princeton's defense. What do you think?
It is. I do, but I also think that Walsh got herself in trouble, Mike, against the sideline with 3 defenders on her and no help. She spun out of it originally, but kind of put herself in that situation with the turnover. I mean, Princeton had the ball anyway when they called the questionable foul, but You know, the Bears kind of shooting themselves in the foot anyway, and
there's the mistake.
Bears able to get it back.
Yep. So Erica Grabby went down, missed the ball, and then got in the way of Walsh, who will try and
or Toy.
Is it Toy? 25.
Yep.
Boy, the numbers
I know
are
the
tough
numbers
today.
there.
A lot of glare. That's why we're shooting from inside. If we were outside, forget it. Healy up the near side, walks the tightrope near the sideline, and dishes the pass to Lauren Toy. Bears going back on the attack, trailing by 2. Hunt, Healy, Guion, Mastro, Toy, Hudgens, and I think that's DeBona. It is. Hunt gets a step, drops the pass for Mastro, was knocked down. Letting the lot go.
Must have been on her own accord.
Oh, yeah, hey, Turf Monster might have gotten her. Ball played.
Has a way of just reaching up and taking down Bears. Mastro continues the hold here against Smith.
If it were soccer, it would be a Stevenson miracle that she got right back up, right? Near side, Toy. Her to work against her defender, gets a step, tried to work in front, now dishes back behind the goal for Guion. 4:20 left here, first half, 9-7. Princeton holding the advantage. Healy, and now DeBona. As the Bears spread it out offensively. Mastro from the far side corner, watched by Smith.
The Bears have gone over 10 minutes since they scored those 3 goals in a 30-second span.
Princeton's defense has made the proverbial adjustment. And it's played DeBona for Hunt again. She works on Sarah Lloyd. Tried to shift left to right and then back again. And now for Bree Hudgens. Tick down toward about 3.5 left. Here comes Hudgens. The shot was altered by a defender, backed up by the Bears.
Guion in position that time to back it up. Giving chase, though, making it close was Gersoff.
Princeton thought it was a pass. It was a shot. Guion working in front. Nice play there by Gersoff to close down what could have been a shooting angle for Guion, and now Toy on the far side of the box. Works in, trying to feed off around Sarah Lloyd. Mastro in the corner. In fact, that missed shot by Mastro was really the last decent look the Bears had. And that came just before Princeton struck for its 6th goal. That was a while back. Mastro, Hunt, missed the ball. She went to turn it before she caught it. And here come the Tigers.
Unforced errors, Mike.
Hump in transition for the Tigers. She works left to right. 3 Tigers open. Bruno in front. The shot saved by Roddy. Loose in front. And we'll get a foul against the Bears somewhere in there, Mike.
That's all I got to say.
So you're saying you're not sure what the call was?
I don't think anybody knows what that call. Either way, it sent it all the way outside the 12 for McMunn, and now
Lloyd.
The Tigers will reset again with Bruno.
Bruno almost lost the handle as DeBona harasses her, and she dishes the ball off for Sarah Lloyd. Princeton looking to extend a 9-7 lead, finds Gersoff, and they're going to get a foul on the interior, called against the Bears again. And, I don't know, Mike. It's going to be a free position for, it looks like Stephanie Pelosio. First time we've called her name, the 5'1" sophomore.
Dead center, too, right on the middle of the 8.
We know Roddy's ready for it. Here she comes, takes the shot, bounces it in, and scores. Again, Mike, a curious call that we're not going to begin to guess. More importantly, Princeton a 5-0 run, and it's 10-7.
Yeah, it comes late in the first half, 28-17. The official time of the goal, and I got to go to my other sheet for Pelosio. That might be her first of the season.
If it is, get her the ball.
It is her first, so.
No, she's a sophomore. We don't know what she had last year, but.
No, I do not have last year's stats.
You're slipping. Slacking.
But it is her first of this year. That we do know. And it does give Princeton a 3-goal cushion as we head into the closing 103 seconds of the first half.
Bears need the next one, Mike, especially before the end of the first half.
Yeah, or else they'll have gone half of a half without a goal.
After 7 and 15 minutes, that's to say the least, a problem. Ball still loose, finally controlled. DeBona in traffic. She runs out
I was going to say, don't they have that rule where you can't get within, like, the
shield.
sphere?
You're also not allowed to come over the shoulder in front of the face.
Like all those things occurring.
So, yeah, it's Healy in the midfield. Dishes the ball. DeBona, the Bears with 80 seconds left in the half. DeBona saw 4 black jerseys in front of her and very wisely reverses to Walsh. Rochelle Walsh right to left.
Tell you, the way the Princeton defense has been playing in the second half of this first half, it almost seems like they have an extra defender out there, Mike.
Toy working in, ran out of room, and they'll get a shooting space violation on the Tigers.
Yeah, sliding over that time was Madeline Rodriguez, setting up the free position for Toy.
Yeah, we're going to move her over because we wouldn't want it to be
in a good position.
In a good position. She'll come off the right edge.
A little bit off the corner of the 8 on that far side.
She works in, fires a shot, and for the 3rd time in this half, the Bears have hit an iron.
Bears' bad luck continues. However, they were able to track down the ball after it pinged off the post.
Hunt has
under a minute.
Hunt hit a post. Toy hit a post. That might be the second post.
I think the second one.
Yeah. The Hudgens one went over the net. That's right. Shot in and a tough angle shot. That's not a good shot.
Too far, and Frank had the near post completely sealed off, and not a lot of room to shoot there on Frank.
Maybe getting a little impatient, the Brown attack. We'll see if they can get it back. Left to right, here come the Tigers. The Bears got away with one. Pelosio will come up the wing. 20 seconds left in the half. Princeton's going to look to make it 6 in a row. In front, shot, scored! A top break for the Bears as the Tigers work it left to right, and with blitzkrieg-like efficiency, find the top corner and make it 11-7.
Yeah, I think it was Homp.
That's a tough one to give up, Mike.
4th of the year for Homp, comes at 29-45.
You know, Mike,
and that's a backbreaker.
Yeah, two -2s though. You see you get the one where Mastro missed in front. That turned into a quick goal. This particular save turned into a quick goal. You get those back, and you're at a tie game.
And here's the story right here, Mike. I mean, first 15 minutes, Bears with 7 goals, Princeton with 6. Since then, Princeton 5 more.
Well, at 15 seconds left in the half.
We've seen both teams score in less than that.
Yeah, they're gonna redraw, so it'll be 14.3 seconds left. So whatever Chris Saylor said to her team after that 7th Princeton goal was allowed, the 7th Brown goal was allowed by her defense, certainly turned the trick. As the Tigers are going to control the draw. We'll see if they can answer and get another one here. Inside, 10 seconds left. Bruno working in front, turns, fires a shot. It's saved. Ball on the ground, loose to the near side. And that will take us into the half. But the Bears need to find a way to stop the bleeding. 11-7 Princeton with a 6-0 run to end the half. We'll take a timeout. We'll have halftime stats and a recap of the first 30 when we return to Stevenson after this. Welcome back to Stevenson Field here in Providence, where the Brown Bears will look to stop the bleeding here in half number 2. Our score 11-7. Mike, keys to the second half, I think are pretty simple. I think we hinted at them.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be take care of the ball, no more unforced errors and unforced turnovers, and you had 5 of them in the first half, and I'd be willing to bet if you went and checked the game film that at least 4 of them led to Princeton goals, and that's the margin right now. So again, when you're playing a top caliber team, the margin for error so slim, you can't give the Tigers any more opportunities, and Bears got to find a way to get their confidence back, Mike. They certainly had a lot of it in the first 13 minutes of the game where they netted 7 goals, but since then, a big 0 for the Bears. So they got to get back to winning draws and putting the ball in the back of the net. I haven't seen anything that special out of Frank in between the pipes. I think she's a goaltender that they could beat, and they're going to have to do it all early and often here.
Bears control the opening draw and will attack. Left to right, Bears in the home whites, brown numerals, red trim. Princeton is in their road blacks and oranges. Mastro at X. Again, Bears attacking toward goal at our right. Here's Hunt. Works up top. Swings it over for Toy. And Toy with Kim.
Be also interested to see if Princeton can maintain the defensive pressure that they had, especially in that final 15 minutes of the first half. They were very aggressive on a tight man-to-man for most of that time, and really making things difficult for the Bears.
Pass for Hudgens almost behind her from Guion. And now Hudgens will run from the invert, looks to the left side, tries to fire a shot and scores! Bree Hudgens gets the Bears on the board first here in half number 2. But it's a big goal in a lot of ways.
Absolutely. I mean, the Bears needed that to break a 6-0 run by the Tigers, get some confidence early on, prove that they could still beat Frank. That comes at 59 seconds into this second half. Makes it only a 3-goal game, so it's not like Princeton was so far in front that they can't be caught. Surely it's not the easiest thing to do, but that was a brilliant shot from one of the Bears' top snipers, and Hudgens picks up goal number 11 of the season, and her second of the game, second straight of the game.
It's not the easiest thing to do, and don't call me Shirley. Ball put back at midfield. Bears enter a 4-game non-league spin after this one, as the ball is finally controlled by the Tigers. Smith loses the ball, a big chop by Mastro, and the Bears are going to get the ball back. No dissent from the Princeton bench. You and I are raising our eyebrows.
Well, I just always get confused on what exactly is legal in terms of those chops. I mean, there was definitely stick-to-stick contact, but I guess, I don't know.
Came from the
I'm
side,
not even
not
gonna
across
try.
the face.
Yeah, well, she did come from behind, but not over the shoulder, and the stick was kind of hanging out like that, so I guess it was a held check.
Held check, the official word from our first-team All-Ivy League stat crew.
That's why they're the best in the business.
Which has gone to the bullpen here today. Ball thrown into the middle and misfired, but it's going to be a foul again, a crease violation, I believe, on Grace Healy. And it'll be Princeton ball. So there's another one of those turnovers that quickly became the Achilles heel of the Brown Bears as we're...
Well, and it would have been some great momentum to carry forward. You just got the first goal of the half. You came up with a big check there, and unfortunately just couldn't convert it into a goal. Here's where the Bears are in desperate need of a defensive stand. They haven't had one in a while, but they've had a save and then taken it back the other way and scored.
Off the right side, centering pass for Gershoff. Ball hit a body, ends up on the ground and is picked up by Erin Roos. Roos forced back, bounces the ball. She was hammered
into the wall.
She is slow getting up. And you know, Mike, that's the second or third time we've seen that, and I think Coach McDonald wondering where the card is.
It was definitely excessive contact there on the end line.
One thing we have not mentioned, there is a Princeton fan wearing a Tiger suit.
That's because we don't need to draw any extra attention to that. That's like the fans that run on the field, like people that just want that attention.
Yeah,
not going to give it to them.
No, I felt like I needed to mention it, if for no reason other than, well, I would never wear a Tiger suit. Bears do complete the clear, and will look to cut the lead to 2 as the ball's thrown away. Not going to cut the lead to 2, Mike, with plays like that.
And, Mike, the unforced errors that time, just a tough pass.
Good close defense, though, by the Tigers. Forced the altered pass. We'll try to glass half full that one. That's a stretch at best.
That's usually my job. Even I'm not
bowled forward
into
by
that one.
Liz Cutting into a sea of white jerseys, and will drop it back for the Tigers. Rag almost threw it away, but it was backed up on the far side by Hump.
See, when the Tigers have unforced errors, they kind of luck out and somebody's backing it up or just happens to be there. It takes a proper deflection for them.
And they'll call the Bears for coming across the front, and we'll have a sphere infraction. Brown.
Bears got to be careful because I think Roddy's out of position. She had gone to chase.
Oh, and they're moving her back out again.
Yeah, she was well out of the net trying for the double team.
The pass to Pelosio would be the one I'd be worried about, and they elect to push it back all the way out to Savilli, and now near side for Gershoff.
It's so interesting, Roddy with the shorts today. A lot of times you see the goalers go with the sweats just to, create a little bit extra area to take more space up in the goal.
Tigers throw it away. It bounces. Hudgens, a little B-button turbo coming back from midfield, and they'll get the Bears for a foul as it was picked up by Bannatyne.
And Hudgens had it for a fraction of a second, just couldn't keep it in the cross, and another fortunate break for the Tigers.
I saw Hudgens come out of the corner of our field of vision. Ball thrown into the middle, and the Tigers again very nearly throw it away. Check down and come up with the ball. Did Marissa Dale? They're going to call a foul on the Bears.
That was just solid defense, Mike, and the Tigers again catch a break with the call.
That's a tough one. Bruno, Gersoff. Even the Princeton coaches are kind of looking around, shrugging their shoulders.
They knew it. They knew it.
They got away with one, got one there. Pelosio, near side hump, working off the corner. Nice defense there by Wall, centering pass. They're going to get a flag, and it's going to be a free position coming for Princeton.
Yeah, it's going to be hump. Just a little bit off the corner of 8 on the far side. About 5.5 into this second half.
Hump takes it in, fires a shot. Roddy, the save.
A nice job by Hunt to get to that loose ball.
She will attempt to clear, runs into a lot of traffic, dodges a couple of Tigers, and plays it for Toy. Toy right side to Bona. DeBona hot foots upfield, dishes back to Toy. Toy with a head full of steam running upfield. Dishes in front, threw it away. Second straight mistake on a sequence by Lauren Toy. Mike, she needed to slow things down there.
Either that or just fake that pass, keep running at her defender, but instead it was a heads-up play by the Princeton defense, able to get in the way of that pass, and back the other way come the Tigers.
Savilli and Dale on the far side as we are 6+ minutes in. Only one goal in the first 6 minutes of the second half, and it'll be Princeton completing the clear. Bruno on the far edge of the box. 11-8. Bruno working back. Princeton quite adept at playing with the lead, and that's exactly what they're doing well here with these extended possessions. Sometimes the best offense is not shooting the balls. That one shot in and saved. And, you know, Ronnie made the save, Mike. She was able to get the shot off. Usually you see them forego the free position.
Usually they would, but they're going to get Marissa Dale for the call, and that's going to put Doherty on the corner of the 8 again for a free position.
Usually when the flag goes up, it's if a shot is not, and then Roddy comes up with another save. Usually when they put the flag up, if there's no shot, they, wave the flag off.
Well, fortunately for the Bears, Roddy up to the task again, able to make the save. And
third time, Mike, the Bears will have an opportunity to get upfield. We'll see if third time's the charm. Dale for Kim. Little slide step will work up the near side flank, picked up by Erin Williams of the Tigers, and the Bears to the corner. There's Mastro. So the Bears finally get the ball into the cross of one of their attackers, and now for Healy on the near side. Healy working in for Hunt. 7.5 gone here in the second half. Princeton used a 6-0 run at the end of the first half, the second half of the first half, really, to take what was a 7-5 deficit, turn it into an 11-7 halftime lead. Mastro stepping up, runs in front, now is forced off by Slifer. Careful, she's been aggressive today, Slifer. Does a good job of tracking toward the near side, and now the dish for Hunt. Hunt forced back there by Bannatyne. Takes a step, spin move, and now forced back at the top of the 8 for Toy. Toy for Kim. And almost airmailed that a bit. For Guion now. Guion has a couple. Bears making a change. They get Megan O'Brien back into the game for, I believe, Molly Lane defensively as the Bears continue to work the ball around on the attack. Mastro, the pass, Healy forced back, and now Toy left side.
An interesting possession here for the Bears, Mike. They haven't even really attempted to get it to Hudgens.
Hudgens being very closely watched. She was on that far side. Mastro the dish. Toy trying to work in front. Forced back by Liz Cutting. Nice play again by Princeton's defense. Hudgens and Rag are the one-on-one matchup. You can see him at the top of the 12. You can see Hudgens barking out orders as the captain of this attack. Ball coming from that far side with Guion on it. Thought about looking in front, had Hudgens cut, now back out for Toy. Toy working up the left side, first in front and scores! Toy got the cross up high and elected to keep it herself. And we've got ourselves an 11-9 ball game.
Toy's second of the day, 10th of the season, comes at 9:13 of the second half, and has cut the lead down to 2 for the Tigers. As good patience out of the Bears that time and better ball control. They seemed a little bit more settled and confident in their decisions passing the ball.
I think I'm changing my word of the day, Mike, from poise to perhaps patience or focus. I think those may be the traits. I mean, they're part of poise, obviously. There's some alliteration for you. But I think, truthfully, I think the Bears need to be, like we saw there, patient. I mean, yes, you're down 2, but there's a lot of lacrosse left to be played.
Right, and it was one of those situations where, Princeton had come up empty 3 times in a row, and the Bears hadn't taken advantage of it. Finally, they go back the other way, and they do come up with a goal. So,
Brown Lacrosse is brought to you by the Hotel Providence, the only AAA luxury boutique hotel in Providence that offers you unparalleled style and service. We'll see a draw here with Healy, and it's been McMunn most of the time for Princeton. And Hudgens comes up with it. Hudgens in traffic, will go all the way back. Dale, and now again Walsh off the edge. Comes up the wing and now passes it ahead for Toy. 11-9, our score, 9.5 gone here. Second half at Brown's Stevenson Field. Mastro on the near side as head coach Keely McDonald puts the signs up. This is what we want on offense. Rochelle Walsh. Tough pass of the shoelaces for Healy. She works in around Rodriguez and will drop the pass. Kim and now Guion. Kim, Healy, Hudgens, Walsh. The Bears also getting Natalie Fox into the game for the first time we've seen so far today. Here's Walsh. The dish for Mastro. Mastro starts her charge. Little dish in front, lot of traffic. And how is that a charge, Mike? Where's the flag there?
That's just ridiculous. I mean, talk about bailing out the Tigers like that one.
That's a terrible call.
Walsh doing all she could to maintain possession there amidst the trio of Tigers, and
she was
and
turning.
they get a charge.
She was turning around to avoid the head contact. Oh, don't want to get too close to her now. Ball played back, and here comes Liz Cutting. That's a terrible call. I mean,
it's unfortunate. We've had to say that a few too many times today.
Ball dished, and the Tigers will get to work right to left. Savilli, who has won a goal in this one. Gertzoff, who also has a goal. Princeton's been held off the board for a while. Here's Bruno. Forced back. Nice play by O'Brien. Ball kicked by Slifer. Or check that by Lloyd, who comes up with the ball. Savilli, watched there by Kim. Had Bruno, but couldn't look back over her shoulder. And we're going to get another foul off the ball on someone for something.
Well, I think it had been too long since Brown got called for something, so they had to call it.
Gotcha. Oh, is it going to be a free position?
I think it should be.
Yeah,
right?
Why not? Right in the middle, I think, would be great. Or we're going to have a bully. A jump ball? That's my favorite play in all of women's lacrosse.
No, it's going to be a free position for Bruno, dead center.
Yeah,
why not?
We'll see if Roddy's up to the task. Fires a shot wide. It's backed up by the Bears. Oh.
No, Mike, you can't get a call for the Bears. What, are you crazy? Princeton ball.
Oh. Looked like Roos was there, didn't it?
Well, that's because she was.
Okay. And they're going to get another foul, this time on Roos.
Well, because the Princeton player dropped the ball, so it's got to be a foul.
Got it.
Oh, boy.
It's like, not going to say what this is like. 18 minutes left here in the second half. 11-9. Ball played for Sarah Lloyd. Watched by O'Brien of the Bears, who shields her off. Here comes DeBona on the double. Lloyd forced back for Gershoff. Gershoff tries to pull her way in, throws it away. Ball's going to run to the near side. McMunn picks it up. Gets a step on Dale. Dishes back Gershoff. And now Pelosio. Ball played off right side. Grabby in front. The look, the shot, the save by Roddy. Flag went up. The save made, and it'll be Brown.
And Roddy has certainly played much better as this game has gone on. I think Princeton scored their first 6 shots on goal, maybe 7 before she made a save, and certainly has bailed them out here in the second half. Bears need to clear, though.
As opposed to the men's game, though, you do have a little bit of time, so the Bears can afford to be patient.
And again, you mentioned it a little bit earlier, Mike, the focus of the Bears. They need to keep that focus right now. No silly errors, no bad turnovers here.
And Brown's coaching staff wants timeout. They'll get it with 16:51 left here in half number 2. We're going to take a timeout as well as the Brown Bears try to mount the comeback. Princeton still on the lead. We're back right after this. And welcome back here at Stevenson Field. Our score 11-9, and we are 13 minutes gone here in half number 2. And alongside Mike Mancuso, I'm Mike Rubin, and great to have you with us. Mike, I think as we look at how this game has progressed in segments, the first 10 minutes of this game was a lot of energy, and sometimes teams go into that feeling out process. They went into let's just attack each other with reckless abandon and abandon any kind of a game plan. Princeton called timeout. They went into a really solid defensive posture. The Bears struggled to adjust to it, and here in the second half, it has been about patience on both sides and taking advantage of your team's errors.
Oh, and a solid goalkeeping as well, Mike, as Kelly Roddy really keeping the Bears alive in this one. Couple of big saves to pitch the shutout thus far for Brown. The Bears, though, struggling on this possession to get it back across the restraining line. Hunt getting out of trouble.
Nice dodge around a couple of defenders.
Yeah, that looked offsides for a moment there.
Yeah, it was Savilli, and
she definitely was across the line.
yes. Hunt, near side, stepped out of the box now on the near side of the field. Bears trailing by a pair. She works in on Gershoff. Comes from the near side, plays it at X for Guion as the Bears stack the 12. Toy, Guion, Healy, Kim, Mastro, Hunt, and Hudgens. Here comes the shot of the score! They're waving it off, and one of those rare situations where there was a foul before the shot, and it is called against.
It's against the Tigers. It's going to be a free position,
Yeah.
but you hate when you see the ball go in the back of the net. It gets waved off.
Well, Toy. She did move. It's a valid point. The shot by Toy makes it go, and it's good. And the Bears are within 1. The Princeton fans can't believe it. Toy did in fact move, Mike. And
well, moved, but also the whistle was like ready to be, like the official, I think, realized it was her fault for making the player move.
Well,
I think she started to blow and then held off for a second.
Well, and Princeton going to the bench, they have pulled Caroline Frank in favor of junior Annie Wolling here with 15:55 left in the second half. And coming in, Mike, perhaps to try and stop the bleeding for Coach Chris Saylor.
Yeah, I mean, she's only played 12.5 minutes this season, has a .333 save percentage, has only made 1 save on the year. So we'll see if Wolling can make a difference here for the Tigers, who have given up 3 straight to open the second half and lead only by 1 now.
11.
This was about the point in the first half where the Bears went ice cold the rest of the way. So we'll see what happens here in half number 2.
This one up in the air, knocked down. Can Hunt get there? It's still loose. Toy picks up the ground ball. Another draw controlled by the Brown Bears, and they will have possession. Lane, and now off to the far side. Here comes Brown. Over there was Becca Dahl. called her name yet, as DeBona had checked out. So had Walsh. Here's Dale for Healy, and Healy lost the ball. It kicks to the near side.
It was off a Princeton.
It was off a Tiger. It'll be Brown ball. Bears catch a break. It's the right call, but not one we were expecting to go the right way necessarily. Healy and Hunt.
Healy lucked out there, Mike, because
Yeah.
that would have been a bad turnover.
A tough pass to the interior for Kim, who again caught it off the tip of her stick. And it's taken back by Hudgens. She's shouldered down on the foul by Bannatyne. It's been a little bit sloppy these last couple of seconds, but the Bears will get the ball back on a failed clear attempt by the Tigers.
Yeah, nice job by Hudgens, able to check that ball out of the stick from Bannatyne. And the Bears will toss it back out. Here is Guion.
Guion working in, had an angle. It was closed up by Rodriguez. She'll drop the pass for Danielle Mastro, and they're going to stop the clock. I think they've got that same foul, Mike, that we saw go the other way that gave Bruno the free position, is going to give one here to Grace Healy at dead center.
Big moment here for Healy, the senior.
With Wolling about to face likely her first shot. It's shot and scored! And Grace Healy has tied the game with 14:28 left here in the first half.
Well, 4-goal cushion for the Tigers has evaporated. Grace Healy picks up goal number 8 of the season, her first of the day, and Princeton calling to talk things over.
We're going to keep it here with 14:28 left here in the second half, Mike. I really think that Chris Saylor is talking things over because much like in the first half, whatever magic potion she gave her team at around the midpoint of the first half sealed the deal for the Brown Bears. She's a great coach, 28 years at the helm of Princeton. You got to wonder what sort of adjustment we're going to see the Tigers make, and this is where chess starts to emerge, and you wonder which team is going to be ahead of the other's next move.
Well, and the interesting thing here, Mike, for the Tigers, I mean, they haven't scored in the second half, and we've seen it so many times across multiple sports. That goal starts getting smaller and smaller, at least mentally.
We saw that from the Bears in the first half, for sure, right?
So we'll see what happens this time. I mean, last time it was a 3-goal.
We definitely saw it last week in the men's game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was about the size of a piece of paper by the end of that. But anyway, you know, the Bears had scored 3 goals in the first half in about 30 seconds. It was their last 3 goals in the 13th minute of play. And after that, that's when Princeton had called timeout to talk things over. They shut out the Bears the rest of the way in that first half. Here in the second half now, the Bears with 4 goals to open the second. And we're about midway through. Princeton yet to find the back of the net. And I think, you know, if you're Coach Saylor, just saying you've been in these situations before, you can ride it out. Let's get going. There's plenty of time left. It's not like they're trailing. Simply tied here, and, you know, yes, the Bears with the momentum, but Princeton with a chance to get it right back if they're able to put this next one in.
The only other unbeaten in Ivy play heading into this week was Yale, who played Bryant the other day and is taking on Quinnipiac today. And they'll come back to center here, Mike. It all starts in the circle. Bears have been solid as the Brown faithful on a nice day, a pretty good crowd on hand, and Brown faithful getting behind the white-clad Bears, the Tigers in the black and orange. And another change is, nope, Frank is still out. Okay, Wolling remains in goal for the Tigers. DeBona will check in for Kim with 14:28 to play here in the second half. 11-11. 16 goals scored.
And Keely McDonald tried to do something she didn't do as a player or as a coach, and that's beat Princeton.
She was part of this rivalry for a couple of years as an assistant coach at Princeton, where the Tigers extended what has been a very one-sided rivalry. Bears have not beaten Princeton since 1991. Right to left, the Tigers control the draw.
You were still in middle school at that time.
I was still in middle school at that time.
Long time ago without a win.
It was a long time ago. In fact, I might have been in 6th grade.
Well, that was my freshman year of high school, so you were probably in 8th grade.
8th grade.
Or no, you were 7th grade.
7th grade, yeah.
So, yeah, so close to it, yeah. Either way, it's a long time.
It was a long time. I was still playing Little League, that much I know, because we won a city championship in '91, and I was I had not even seen a lacrosse stick in 1991.
Probably same for me.
Bruno coming off the near side edge.
Roos, nice
Roos,
job.
Terrific takeaway. Roos came across the top, Mike. That is a terrific caused turnover by Aaron Roos.
Bruno never saw her coming there.
So
Kind of looped around from behind and came from the side.
she feeds Lane, Dahl, and now out across center comes Toy, who has, check that, is Fox. Fox working upfield off Slifer, and we'll pass it off out of traffic, and the Bears will settle things
They
down.
need to settle it down, be patient. Princeton, of course, is going to force the issue, as they have at times with their defense.
Well, Toy has struggled in those situations, and the ball is played ahead. Lane, DeBona, and now to the corner. Here comes Guion. Guion gets a step on the defender, runs in front, is tripped. Yep, she just got tripped. Rodriguez took out her by the back of the heels. So we're inside 13 to play here at Stevenson. Bears looking to take their first lead since it was 7-6. It was tied up by Princeton about 15 or 16 minutes into the first half. Ball altered. The pass was altered. It comes to Fox. And to the near side, Mastro. Mastro working in front, splits the defense, shot and scored! The Bears take the lead! Danielle Mastro skips one under Walling. And it's 12-11 Brown with 12:21 left.
Hat trick for Mastro, her third of the day, 9th of the season, comes at 17:39 of the second half. And the Bears, 5 straight goals here in the second half to take the lead, 12-11 over the 16th ranked Tigers. Mastro doing what she does best, able to slip past the defender, using her speed, got the shooting lane, able to finish that time. Wolling really with no chance.
Healy is pumped. I'm watching her coming back to the draw. Then she kind of gave the little chest pump saying, this one's got to be me. As the Bears playing with the lead, Mike, you wonder how this changes things. I don't think you change anything myself.
No, I think you got to just keep doing as you've been doing in the second half. The Bears have certainly came out with the game plan, and they've been executing it quite well. A couple of timely saves from Roddy as we get a foul on Roos there.
Yeah, Roos.
A little bit of a chop on McMunn. And
Princeton doing what they needed to do to control the draw. Near side for Bruno. Princeton, 12 minutes left here in the second half, and they have not scored since the last minute of the first stanza. As Bruno works off the far edge of the crease, rolls near side, watched by Lane, turns back to the far side, takes the shot, and flays it up and over the top, and it's just backed up by McMunn. And when I say just backed up,
yeah, by the slimmest of margins.
Yeah.
Now the Bears got to be careful as Roddy was close to the end line when the ball did cross over. She gets back in time. Another chance here for the Tigers.
Roddy has played a terrific second half. Interior pass, shot, scored! And that stops the bleeding for Princeton as Sarah Lloyd tucks one in and ties it at 12 with 11 and a half to play.
Second of the day for Lloyd, 6th of the season.
And
Comes at 18:30.
And Coach McDonald wants a stick check. So we're going to get our first stick check. She gets 3. And
And if anything, just to kind of
Keep
slow
it
things
honest.
down and, don't let that momentum build, because we've seen Princeton strike quickly at times.
I think it's coming off the board. I think the goal's coming off the board. Coach McDonald called for a stick check, and it was an illegal stick. And that goal is coming off the board. So you get 3, you use 1, and for the first time in our careers, Mike, the goal is coming off the board. Coach Saylor wants to see it, and she's going to argue, but you can see the ball kind of sagging low. The goal is going to be taken off the board. She can't believe it, can the Princeton coaching staff, and that goal has come off the board. It's an illegal stick for Sarah Lloyd. The stick comes to midfield where it will be unable to be used for the rest of the game. I love these rules. 11 and a half left here in the second half. I saw Coach McDonald coming out. She was kind of giving the the
Talk about an
alligator
eagle eye, able
Yeah.
to see that from the bench.
Well, I think it's just chance, to be honest.
Oh,
but,
of course.
But the Bears, on top of it, they automatically control the draw, and the goal comes off the board with 11 and a half to play. Write that one down. That's a first for us.
That could be a Stevenson first.
That is a Stevenson first. And that's another Stevenson miracle. Wrong sport, but it works. Near side, Mastro comes off the corner and plays it for Guion. Bears with the lead, 12-11. As we tick down to about 11 left. Lauren Toy up top. That got the Princeton coaching staff's attention, didn't it?
Well,
Toy working in front, ran into a sea of black and orange. Dishes for Mastro, tried to split a couple of D, and now Hunt behind the goal for Guion.
well, obviously the Bears
Wow.
try to take a little bit of time off the clock here, approaching about 10 and a half remaining.
Toy from Mastro works in front, nowhere to go. A shooting space violation, and Mastro's going to get a free position.
Yeah, giving chase was Madeline Rodriguez, and Mastro, who has great speed and has been on fire today, can she keep it going?
Her shot altered. Nice play defensively by the Tigers to quick reach there. Gershoff had some height and was able to step in front.
Yeah, nice job, though, by Mastro, realizing that, not trying to force it, and still holding on to the ball to maintain possession for the Bears. So even though she didn't pick up the goal there in that free position, nice job to keep the possession alive.
Toy behind the goal. Kim at X switches off for Guion in the corner. So the Sarah Lloyd goal taken off the board. Healy tries to work her way in against Ballantyne and now plays it off to the corner again for Guion. Inside 10 minutes now left here in half number 2. Mastro faked the pass to Kim, comes back out to Toy. Toy cuts back towards center, dishes the ball. Hunt, Mastro, in front, dog shot, score! Terrific look, Hunt for Mastro. The Bears lead is 2. It's 13-11.
Mastro's 4th goal of the game, the 10th of the season, comes at 20:18 of the second half.
Well, and Coach Saylor's going to say, I want to check too.
Yeah, why not?
And no,
Six
it's
straight
good.
goals for the Bears here in the, Princeton did. No, they got it wiped off. So, yes, 6 straight goals for the Bears in the second half. They lead this one by 2.
11. Princeton.
And now I'm not sure Princeton's been in this situation too many times in Ivy League games.
Certainly not here. 13-11. 9:42 left here in the second.
I'm just trying to think what our reaction would have been if it would have been the reverse. The tying goal wiped off for a stick check.
You'd be clawing me. I'll tell you right now, one or both of us might be off the air next week. The token 1-game suspension.
Look at this. This is like bumper cars out there, and finally coming away with it is Hunt.
Mike, that's a very poised play by the freshman Hunt. She had a lot of traffic, and she just focused down, bore down on the ball, comes up with it, and here comes Kim ahead, and the Bears with the ball for Healy left side. And time out. No, we got a whistle. Well, is Princeton offsides, Mike? Look at this. Princeton's offsides.
Yep.
Princeton's offsides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the rule allows Healy really to, or rather Guion, to just have a clear path to Mastro, and now throws it away. 2 Bears are closing down on it. Dahl couldn't get a piece. It's out of bounds, and it's going to be Brown ball. I don't know about that.
They're
one,
going to
Mike.
say last touched by Slifer, who was checked out of bounds. Yikes.
Well, that's not the right call at all. They're letting a lot of contact go both ways, and I'm just completely perplexed. 8:20 left here in half number 2 with the ball is Hunt. She's being watched by Anna Doherty of the Tigers. Hunt will back off, and we have a whistle. And again, we've seen this call a couple or 3 times gone both ways. And Hunt's going to draw a free position here with 8:10 and counting. Oh, the clock stopped. I'm sorry, 8:13 and counting. Hunt to the free position. We'll see what she offers here against Wolling. Keeps it herself. Shot was altered. It hit a body and knocked down into the stick of Lloyd. Lloyd shuffles it back to Wolling. She turns near side, whips the ball to Kelly Ragg. She'll try and get around Hudgens. Hudgens swats the ball away, kicks it free, tries to come up with it, is pushed by Ragg.
Wow, great timing there by Hudgens. You could see her lining up that stick check, and she dropped the hammer on Ragg, able to force the turnover. Another failed clear for the Tigers.
Near side Walsh for Dahl. The Bears going to the bench a little bit here in the second half.
Yeah, wasn't that offsides again?
It sure did. Yeah, it was.
There was two players that time. Two
Yep.
players crossed.
Dahl for now Walsh. Walsh trying to get a step on Doherty. Had Hunt left. A nice play by Doherty. Comes up with the ball. She'll work right to left, causing the turnover. Princeton down by 2. Forced back by the Bears. Marissa Dale. Doherty did a good job. Ball knocked down again. Loose in midfield. Coming away with it was the Bears, but it'll be a foul called on DeBona. It's the right call. Looked like DeBona gave a shove to Lloyd.
Yep.
And Lloyd will work upfield across the restraining line as the Tigers complete the clear. Under 7 to play here in the second half. Lloyd has Gersoff to her left. And so a different look defensively with both Lane off the field. So is O'Brien, I thought. We've seen her defensively as well. But Dale and Roos, Hunt, Dahl, DeBona, and Walsh. Move DeBona into more of a defensive play. The shot saved by Roddy. Ball's down. Doherty tried to track it down and does, and feeds it over to Gersoff. Roddy coming up with yet another save here in half number 2. That's Slifer, watched by Dahl as we tick down to about 6 minutes left here in half number 2. Right side, Lloyd working in, lost the ball. They're going to get a foul on Roos, and a free position coming for the Tigers.
At least it's from that sort of tough angle there on the far side corner of the 8 for Lloyd.
Well, nothing else. We know Roddy's ready. Here comes Lloyd, fires the shot. It's off the stick of Roddy and out of bounds. Inside 6 to play. Hunt watching Bruno behind the goal. Bruno tried to back her way in. Now turns near side of the crease and dishes the pass out to Mary-Kate Savilli, and now outside for Slifer. She'll feed right. That's Lloyd. 13 to 11, and we have a whistle. There was something going on inside that 8 mic. I want to say it was Gersoff and DeBona who were jockeying for position.
It looks like they're going to say Lloyd and Roos. Lloyd will get a free position.
Good spot.
Little off center.
See if she shoots or passes. It's a good place to shoot. She works in, shot it wide, backed up by the Tigers.
But again, that incredible shrinking goal for the Tigers, Mike.
5:20 and counting left here in the half. Doherty and now Savilli. And Princeton's been without Erin McMunn, who is testing an ankle on the near sideline. Ball loose in front, and there's a flag up. And they'll call a free position. I think that's Erica Grabby who's going to get the free position for the Tigers as she went down in front.
This one dead center of the 8. See if Roddy could do it again.
It's like McMunn holding her lower body. She was trying to deke back.
And wide again.
Like, when you look at you talked about the shrinking goal, how much of it is defense, how much of it is goaltending, and how much of it is mental?
On the free positions, Mike, I think a large percentage has to be the mental aspect of it. As they keep pushing it wide, it's like they're trying to just really thread the needle inside one of those top corners or lower corners. And
Father Time, also one of the Bears' best friends right now, as we are ticking down to 4:40 left here in the second half.
Is that not a charge?
Saved by Roddy! How it wasn't a charge is beyond me, but Roddy comes up with another stop. Loose in front, ball down, shot and saved again by the Brown netminder. 2 saves in close time. Gersoff with the ball on the double, forced it back out. Here comes Slifer off the edge, works in, drops it down, and we have a whistle.
Bears need to get to one of those rebounds, though, Mike. You can only call upon Kelly Roddy so many times.
It's going to be a free position for Slifer. Clock stopped at 4:16. Slifer on the shot, up and over the top.
Backed up by the Tigers, but the Bears will certainly take that with just over 4 minutes remaining.
Roddy has been on fire here in the waning moments of this second half. Here's Gersoff off the near side. Princeton wants timeout and will take one too with the score. 13-11 inside 4 to play. We're back after this. And welcome back, folks. Good to be with you here at Stevenson Field, where our score is 13-11. Princeton trailing Brown with 3 minutes, 58 seconds left on the clock. Alongside Mike Mancuso, I'm Mike Rubin. Chris Saylor calling timeout because her offense needs to do something, Mike. They have not scored in a long time. They've had their looks, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's really been a mystery for them how to solve Kelly Roddy here in the second half. After Princeton closed the first half, scoring 29-45, just 15 seconds remaining. But here we are, 3:58 left. Tigers down by 2. And the Bears simply playing great defense, and Kelly Roddy in particular as the netminder has just made save after save, or has somehow gotten in the heads of the Tigers and has had them pushing it wide of the cage throughout this second half.
Gersoff off the near side, looks to work in. Good job up on the footwork there by Lane, and now here's Slifer. Keep in mind, Princeton without Erin McMunn, she's on the sideline.
And you can't understate that, Mike. She's the reigning attacker of the year in the Ivy League, their leading scorer coming in.
6-11-17 coming into today's game and had a goal in the first half. Working near side, Lloyd dishes to Slifer, has a seam. Good job on the slide by the Brown defense. They force it back. Oh, almost thrown away. Gersoff working on Roos. Tracks back out, and they know the message from head coach McDonald was no foul. Working in, another takeaway almost by Roos. Dahl forces it, and they'll call the Bears for coming across the front.
Yeah, got really close to the head there. Roos again. And that will put Princeton with another opportunity for a free position. This one off center of the 8.
I think it's Doherty.
Either Doherty or Seville. I
think it's 18. Seville's on the near
there
side.
You go, yep.
They're going to reset the clock, I think, by a second or two here, Mike.
It's at 2:52. We'll see where they're going to put it. As the cloud cover coming in here, the sun kind of going away. Temperatures going down a little bit as this game has progressed.
Well,
Started out in the mid-50s.
At midfield, I don't believe they heard a whistle, and so the clock continued to run after the foul was called. It could, again, I don't know by how many seconds. We'll watch the clock. 7 seconds.
7 seconds, okay.
So
again, free position opportunity now for the Tigers.
Doherty for Princeton.
The freshman.
Just inside 3. 2:59 now on the clock. Tension's so thick you could cut it with a knife, huh, Mike?
Pretty much. How's your ulcer doing?
No, the Brown hockey ulcer is settling down just in time for the Brown lacrosse ulcer to fire on all full cylinders.
Although you still got tonight for hockey, so...
the season could come to an end tonight,
but
I will...
Tough one last night, falling in overtime.
Double overtime.
That's right, double overtime.
Double overtime, which means they played the full 20 minutes. They played 20-minute periods in overtime.
They go NHL style.
Oh, it's long games. Remember that game you and I called up at Harvard that time that went double overtime. Here comes Doherty, the shot, and another save! Roddy kicks it away! And more importantly, Mike, the ground ball.
And no one giving chase to Roddy. Finally, Bruno realizing. And Roddy's going to have to get an outlet pass out eventually. Oh, boy.
A tough pass. She was trying to feed it, I think, to Lane or Dale on this near side. I think it's Dale.
But the strange thing, like, why did all the Bears run away from her? And I think that's what she's complaining about.
Situational awareness. We're inside 2:40 to play, and the Bears will have to reset defensively.
And Roddy made the wise play of going behind the net, just waiting for someone to challenge her, but all her teammates ran away from her.
Doherty and now Bruno behind the goal. McMunn back on the field for Princeton. And you can tell she's hobbling.
Yeah, she's not 100% by any means.
No, not a chance.
Maybe just out there as a decoy.
Bruno had McMunn now coming as a cutter. Feeds it in front. Shot knocked down and scored! Oh, an unlucky ball. It came off the stick of McMunn and floated over the head and of Roddy, and they're going to do another stick check here.
Well, you got 3 of them. You might as well use them.
And this one looks good, so that goal will stand. First goal of the half for Princeton. It comes with 2:08 to play, 13-12. And Mike, this is all about the draw. You put it on the shoulders of your seniors, and that's where Grace Healy have to come up big.
Well, the Bears have been strong throughout the game and need to come up with it here. McMunn out there on the draw against Healy. 2:08 remains. 13-12 Brown.
And the whistle, the draw, the control on the field, and coming up with it will be Princeton. And we may see, let's see. We'll
a couple
see.
of Tigers down.
Yeah.
Bruno was tripped up by Hudgens, and then on the far side, I think it was Slifer.
Yeah, she collided with DeBona. They were both chasing after the ball on that far side. Might have been Guion, too, in that vicinity. So 2-minute warning here, folks, 13-12. Here comes Princeton Bruno on the near side as the Tigers have the ball. She's chased by Lane, works in front, turns, gets back to her right, centering pass on the ground. Who's going to get there? It's picked up and floated out to the far side and tracked down by the Tigers. That was Grabby. Down to 1:35 to play. Seems fitting after the half we've seen that it falls to the Brown defense. Ball turned up top, Slifer. Over to the flank. Doherty, Slifer, turns, backed out. And let it not come down to a flag or a whistle, Mike. Let it be played on the field. That's, I think, all we can hope for. Slifer, dish in front. Doherty working in. There's the flag. There's the foul, and here comes the free position.
It's going to be a little bit off center. It's going to be for Aaron Williams. Or is that?
No, it's
Doherty?
18. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, Williams is, the only reason I know is because Williams is
Yep,
right there. Here comes the pal, the shot, the score, and Princeton has tied the game with 1:06 left. 2 goals for the Tigers. And again, it comes back to center, where the Bears will need to control the draw. And if, you come up with the, you go back, Mike, to the point you had made of Rodney being unable to clear the ball with 3 minutes to go.
Certainly would have helped at least kill.
Maybe the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Princeton would have been pulling the goalie. Well,
So, 1:06.
now the ulcer is firing on all cylinders. How's yours?
Oh, just fine.
Just fine. Keep telling them they need to get Pepto as a sponsor for us here. 13-13, 66 seconds to play. Healy and McMunn. Can the Bears find a way to win one of these games? And they've been in control for much of the second half. Can Princeton pull it off by playing on attack basically the last 2.5 minutes? It's controlled by Healy. Healy on the flank. Pushes it ahead, and we'll see if what Guion does as Healy was knocked down with some aggression. Splitting in comes Guion. Runs toward the goal, gets to X, and dishes out for Kim. And
Healy's hobbling. Yeah, they got to get her off the field. So the Bears have a bit of a disadvantage. They're going to send Walsh up into the mix.
Oh, and the Bears turn it over. And they couldn't get Healy off the field. Here comes Lloyd. Lloyd the dish, McMunn the pass, and the Princeton Tigers throw it away. The ball's going to run out of bounds. It'll be Brown ball. 28.6 seconds to play.
Bears catch a huge break there.
They got to get Healy off the field, however.
He's got the right ankle heavily taped and is definitely flexing that right leg.
The Bears will play it for Roddy. Roddy almost fouled by Bruno, and the ball now in the crease, and they'll get a whistle. It comes near side lane. 20 seconds to play. We might be staring at overtime. Lane upfield for Brown. Comes to the near side. Tries to get around McMunn. Gets up top. 10 seconds left. Dishes the pass. Lauren Toy up top. Works in front. 5 seconds. Kim Toy. We're going to overtime. Dished in front. Lost. And we have to play overtime. Princeton will be going to extra time for the second consecutive game.
I would have liked to see the Bears at least try to work it up into somewhere where they could possibly get a shot off there.
Oddly, the ball ended up in the hands of a couple of first-years Mike, and I think they felt the ball, the field close up on them awfully fast there. So we're going to go to overtime. We're going to take a timeout with the score 13-all. We're back after this right here from Stevenson Field. Now, this game having the subplot of so many other crucial Brown decisions over the last half decade or so as the Bears try to climb into the upper echelon of the Ivy League. They find themselves tied, and you wonder, Mike, I often call it seizing defeat from the jaws of victory. In this particular game, we've got overtime against Princeton, but I think where this program is, you know, that's almost a disappointment. You want to be in these games, but you want to start winning these games, and the Bears at this point have yet to find a way to win one of these games. And I think right now it comes down to really opportunism on offense and relying on the shoulders of your goaltender, who has been outstanding.
That too, and you know, you really need to control these draws, Mike, especially the way these overtimes are set up. There will be 2 3-minute sessions here in the first overtime. It is not sudden victory. So you could technically score as many goals as you can, but traditionally what we see is whoever wins the draw kind of just holds it. The other team lets them, and they almost try for a last-second shot. Hopefully that won't be the case. Maybe we'll see a little bit more action, but I remember last year we did a game, and I think it was the Columbia game, and they literally just sat behind the net for like 2 minutes and 40 seconds. So hopefully this overtime will be a little bit more interesting. It's one of the things I'd like to see them change in the women's games. I'd like to see them go to the men's style where sudden victory.
We'd be going home a lot earlier. It's like the old soccer. You remember?
Well, it just almost pointless to set it up the way they do.
Well, we've got ourselves a 13-13 game. Princeton played overtime and lost to Georgetown 17-16. This one, we're tied at 13. Bears went to overtime last year against Columbia and won. McMunn and Healy at center for the draw. Bears will defend goal to our right here in the first overtime. And they're going to wait for the clock to run down, and here we go. Very peculiar second half. Princeton did not score for the first 27-odd minutes.
Almost 28 minutes.
Yeah. Then scored twice in the last 2.5 to force the overtime. Bears were leading late. Kelly Roddy with 13 saves in this one for Brown.
9 in the second half.
And the Bears control the draw. A bump on DeBona, but an easy call. It'll be Brown ball.
So the Bears get the all-important first draw of overtime. Again, 3 minutes on the clock. There'll be 2 3-minute sessions that comprise overtime 1. Not sudden victory.
Roddy for Dale. The Bears work right to left. Ball comes across for Healy. She loops it to Walsh. Healy still out there despite what appeared to be a little bit of a limp at the end of regulation. Now for Hunt. This stage of the season, Mike, you wonder how practice time has been at a premium over the first week or so, a couple of weeks of the preseason, and certainly last week leading into the Columbia game. Temperatures this week were frigid. You wonder how much of the specialties you've worked on. I know in the early part of the hockey seasons, for example, the things like the power plays and the penalty kills are not up to snuff, and you wonder if this sort of situation has even emerged at practice yet.
I'm sure it's emerged in some way, but probably not as much time as obviously the later you go into the season, especially considering the Bears have yet to play overtime this year. So we'll see what they do. They just got to kind of treat it as any other possession, Mike, and can't get too lackadaisical about it and You know, I'd like to see them try to attack and get one here a little earlier. But again, just take care of the ball, be patient, remain focused. The key here for the Bears.
Mastro and Toy were giving a little give and go. Toy has it now on the far side of the field as again some cloud covers descended. Temperatures have dropped a little here in Providence. So we're inside 80 seconds left in the first part of overtime here. With the ball is Guion, watched by Liz Cutting of the Tigers. As we're down to about 1:05 left here. Make it a minute. Guion coming off the near corners where the Bears started things way at the beginning of the game, if you recall. Guion will try and get around Cutting. You play really for the one shot. The Bears starting their bobs and weaves in the middle of the field. And now here's Hunt, watched by Doherty, who had the equalizer late, I believe. Yes.
Yes, she did on the free position.
Guion. Now inside 30 seconds. Dishes for Lauren Toy. Toy will work on Rodriguez. Starts a move, cuts back to her left, has nowhere to go. Good defense from the Tigers. Here's Mastro. She'll work in. Gets doubled. Couldn't get around Slifer. And we're inside 15 seconds. Off to the far side. Hunt will start her charge. Inside 10. Nowhere to go. In front for Healy. The shot knocked down. Loose in front as Healy went down on the shot. And that's the end of overtime. Well, the first session of the overtime. And we'll switch sides with the game still tied at 13.
Well, Bears certainly had a chance there. Looked to be a lot of contact as Healy went towards the net.
Well, we said we wanted it
Save
decided
made by
on the field.
Wolling. And now things will get interesting again with another draw.
There's no break, as opposed to, like we said in soccer, between the sessions. They just switch sides. Wolling came in for Frank at about 15 minutes or so left.
So you got two players on this draw, less than 100%, in Healy and McMunn.
The irresistible force meets the immovable object, huh, Mike? It comes down to, I think, heart more than it does anything else, perhaps.
And maybe a little bit of luck. See if the Bears have it.
Against Princeton? See what the lacrosse gods say. The 3 minutes on period number 4 now. It's won by Healy. Healy controls the draw, dishes to Mastro, and the Bears will have a shot here. They're in the overtime. For the second time, they control the draw. Time out, Brown. 2:48 left in the session. We'll keep it here, and we'll tell you folks that .08 is the law in Rhode Island. Play it safe. Designate a sober driver. That's brought to you by the Rhode Island Department of Transportation, Division of Highway Safety, and enjoy Paragon and Viva, contemporary American cuisine with a Mediterranean touch, 234 Thayer Street, near the Brown University campus. And Mike, it's 13-13, 2:48 left. You haven't been able to get the ball in the hands of Bree Hudgens all that often, so who are you looking for?
Well, I think Mastro's had the hot hand here today. She's got 4 goals. I think Toy would be a good option. I mean, if you're somehow able to find a way to get it to Hudgens, I think that's the way you got to go. But obviously she's been ridden all day long by a couple of different defenders throughout the game. So, you know, the most important thing for the Bears here, just, again, be focused, be poised, keep possession, no unforced errors. If Princeton goes out and makes a just don't give it to them on your own accord.
Brown women are back in action on Wednesday up at Holy Cross, a 4 o'clock game. And then next weekend, we'll host Central Connecticut State, a 1 o'clock draw time here at Stevenson Field. Again, Bears go 4 straight non-league games. They'll then head out, play a couple at altitude against the University of Colorado at Boulder, and then against the Pioneers of Denver in close time before returning here on the 29th of March, when they will take on the Big Green of Dartmouth. As they'll break the huddles here with 2:48 left here in overtime. 13-13. And will 13-13 be
Well, keep in mind that they will play this whole 3 minutes. So even if the Bears score, there's a minute left, you play out the period.
I think you try and score, Mike, again inside that 30-second mark. But I think one of the things that's all or nothing at that point.
Right, and for Princeton, you know they're going to be challenging a little bit more than they did in that first overtime because they know that if the Bears score, that's not totally it, but pretty close to it.
Cutting on Mastro from the near corner. Again, Bears attacking. Goal to our right. Mastro in the corner, lobs it out to Grace Healy. Healy for Hunt, and now over for Toy. Inside, 2.5 left. Hunt. Winners want the ball, Mike, so we'll see who wants it. And Toy almost dropped it. Well, she did drop it. She was able to pick it up. She almost turned it over, I think is more appropriate to say. Now to the corner for Guion, who's watched by Rodriguez, and now Toy off the wing, up top, Hunt and Healy. Healy looks to her right, feeds it for Walsh, and now Mastro from the corner. Interestingly enough, Mike, Hudgens is off on that far side being watched, I want to say by Rag, who's done a pretty good job on her all day long, all things told.
Yeah, that's been the assignment for most of the game when those two are out on the field at the same time.
1:45 remains. Mastro has Guion at X, gives it to her. Coach McDonald in the corner, holding up some sort of indication for her team to run an offense here that could get the all-important next one. Healy, Walsh again. Princeton content to sit back here. Thought they may take some more chances. I certainly thought what you said was...
Well, but you look at the way they ended the game and they ended that overtime, and they really haven't allowed any quality chances in some time, so, you know, make the Bears earn it as well.
Hunt and now Toy, as the Bears start to get a little bit more involved in the interior. Here comes Walsh off the edge, and now for Hunt with inside a minute left here in this overtime session. Toy, and now Hunt again. She sits back, Walsh, Mastro, 45 seconds left. Mastro's in the corner again, watched there by Liz Cutting of the Tigers. Kind of hops a little bit, trying to get Hudgens free inside. Rag, a good job shutting her down. Good look in front. Hudgens a shot to score! As she was wiped out by Rag. What a finish by Bree Hudgens, who answers. And the Bears take a 14-13 lead with 32 seconds left in overtime. End over end aerobic finish.
Hudgens completes the hat trick with the go-ahead goal with 32 seconds left. 12th of the season for the Bears, leading scorer and first-team All-Ivy performer.
She stuck the landing.
That had a little bit of Chaz Woodson in it.
Oh, didn't they? Remember that one.
So we'll see if the Bears can hold on. Huge draw coming up. Princeton's going to mix it up. They're going to throw Sarah Lloyd out there this time. McMunn not on the draw.
Acrobatic finish from Bree Hudgens. The Bears trying now to finish off the Tigers. They haven't beaten Princeton since 1991, when we're not certain that there's anybody on the field who's actually alive yet.
Good point, and certainly has been a long time. We'll see if the Bears can hold on here. Huge draw. Can Healy do it again?
Healy and Lloyd, 32.4 on the clock. If they control the draw, the Tigers expect a quick timeout from Coach Saylor. Where is Coach Saylor? She's
right
there somewhere.
Right in front of the
there she is.
Table.
And here we go. Draw up. It's controlled by Healy. Controlled by Healy. Ahead for Guion. Back out on the far side for Toy. Toy will switch it back for Lane. Lane comes near side, thrown to Toy on the near side again, and the Bears trying to seal off the victory. They back it up for Lane. Lane over to the far side, Dale. 5-10 seconds left. Ronnie behind the goal trying to run it off. She comes to the near corner, throws it up to Hunt, and the Bears have beaten Princeton for the first time since 1991. And the Bears are 4-0.
What a game. What a comeback. overtime victory for the Bears. It's been a long time coming, just making it that much sweeter. Keely McDonald's Bears have taken down the Princeton Tigers. The Bears improved to 4-0 overall and 2-0 in Ivy League play.
I don't know who was more elated, Mike, as they sprung from that sideline, if it were the players on the Brown bench or the coaching staff. This is a signature victory that has eluded this program, Mike. We've been covering it for a long time.
We've been doing games?
Yeah, we've been covering this team for the better part of the last decade plus. And this is the type of game, folks, out there that the Bears have found ways not to win.
And it was Bree Hudgens coming up with a most acrobatic goal. 32 seconds remaining in the overtime session to propel the Bears to a 14-13 victory. And a lot of poise shown by the Bears here today. Down by 4 at the half. They had given up 6 straight goals. Came back, nearly had a shutout for the whole second half. Princeton ties things up in the final 2 minutes of the second half. They go to overtime. The Bears win every draw in the overtime
Well,
session.
and I think you make the point, Mike. In 36 minutes, the Bears gave up 2 goals. That's right now, I think, we could talk about the timely attack, but I think when you talk about 36 minutes without giving up, just the 2 goals, one of them being a dead center free position, I think that's the difference in the game.
And keep in mind, the goal wiped off the board on the stick check for the Tigers.
Yeah,
that
true.
one came. That was it would have been a tying goal, but again, wiped off the
it would have
board.
tied the game at 12 at that point. Final score 14-13 as we turn our attention